Good day, everyone. I'm here with the Mayor of Nashua, Lozeau. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you.
So I'm going to start off our questioning about what's been happening in the city of Nashua with the teachers' contracts and all that stuff, and how it's affected the students mostly. The first question is the question we've been asking just about everyone. What has kept the teachers' contract from passing?
Well, I think the process and what it takes, the different people involved, the fact that we've had a couple of election cycles during it didn't help at all. The process when I came along, it was on its third tentative agreement. But one of the things that I think people aren't necessarily aware of is there are 15 unions in Nashua. All 15 unions go through the same process. They have a negotiating group. In the teachers' instance, it's the school board. In the police, it's the police commissioners. In the fire, it's the fire commissioners. All of them go through that process. And then the final stop is the Board of Aldermen and the mayor. So it had been going on for quite some time when I came along.
So what have you done that has either helped or halted the process?
Well, I'll tell you, Corey, when I came in and I looked at what the situation was and talked to people during the campaign, because of course it came up, the thing that I heard most frequently was that people just wanted it to be done. Teachers wanted it to be done, parents wanted it to be done, students wanted it, everybody just wanted to be done with it. And one of the things that I also think is a point of confusion is how many votes does it take to get it done? So people focus on, boy, the contract passed by 8 votes and the mayor line item vetoed it. Well, the fact of the matter is 8 votes weren't good enough. It needed 10 votes to pay for the contract. There's no point in passing it if you're not going to fund it. Mm-hmm. And some people have confused that with the spending cap and, oh, the 10 votes are for the spending cap. Actually, no. Right now, the 10 votes are for anything because anytime you do a supplemental appropriation in an existing budget cycle, you need to have 10 votes of the Board of Aldermen. In order to get those 10 votes, I thought the best thing I could do was to look at the contract as it was presented and figure out what was a way to get the 10 votes. And the way to get the 10 votes was to at least hold the line on the 0% increase in the first year that all the other unions that had already settled, 7 of them, had accepted.
And do you think that your proposal was a fair one for both sides?
I do. I was very disappointed that it didn't get voted on. I really had hoped that the union leadership would bring it back to the full membership. And I think that that would have been a fair and affordable contract.
Now, have you gotten any approving or disapproving messages from the community?
You know, there's quite a selection. I have some of the folks that, after the veto said to me, hold your ground, stand firm, some of them, oh, those teachers are so greedy. Others, oh, please solve it, pay them the money, we can't pay them enough. And students and others talking to me about it. And I really tried to strike the right balance. I returned as many phone calls as I could, and I called people on both sides of the issue. The people that were supporting me with the line item veto, I called them and said, look, I don't think the teachers are greedy. That's not why I did this. And it was quite an exercise in having discussions with people and laying out, because you lose track of what all the finite details are in this whole process.
Now, what were you thinking? I know the strike date was set a few weeks before the actual date itself. What were you thinking that week before the date quickly approached?
I was thinking that it would be better for the community if we could resolve it. That was the angel on this shoulder. The devil on this shoulder was thinking, strike. If that's what you want to do, take a loss in your job. If that's what you think that this has come to, it goes the way it goes. But the right thing to do was to try to resolve it.
Now, returning to the present, what are your thoughts on this new proposed contract that came up almost midnight on Sunday night?
Well, I think it's a bit more money than I'd like to have seen passed in the contract, but I think it's a contract that took into considerations the things that we asked, the 0% in the first year, healthcare concessions.
Now, how will this new proposal, assuming that it does get voted in tomorrow night, how will it affect the city of Nashua, including the teachers and the community itself, and the city itself?
Well, I think that it's a good thing that it's resolved and off the table. I think the things that are undone are the things that people should be talking about. Like during the discussions, I'm sure you heard a lot about the difference in steps and whether steps were raises or not raises and what the COLA meant and whether they had or they didn't have a contract. I read to a 5th grade class and one of the students said to me, could you give my teacher back her contract so I can go on my field trip? I mean, that's sad.
That, yeah.
Nobody ever took the teacher's contract away. They were still getting paid. But there are a lot of issues that surround it: retirement, pension, longevity, dental care, health care. I mean, severance packages. Those are all part and parcel of this.